It's time for NFL picks for each game that will take place on Sunday in Week 3. As always, I am making separate videos for the Thursday and Monday night games, so make sure you check those videos out as well. I'm Professor MJ, a former 15-year university statistics teacher from Canada. Last week, my selections generated 8 wins and 8 losses, so nothing to write home about. It's time to earn solid money. There are plenty of plays that I love this week. At about the halfway point of this video, I will reveal the winners of my 2 free NFL prediction contests. Both of them are back this week, and keep in mind that you can win cash prizes along the way. For example, predict the exact score of the Sunday night game between the Chiefs and the Giants, and you could bring home $100. You can also play the contest where you make a pick against the spread on each game, while grading each selection from 1 to 15. The participant with the highest number of points wins $100. The only way to enter is to go under the free contest section at mjpicks.com. Let's get started with this week's betting tips. First, in the Green Bay vs. Cleveland matchup, I have decided to bet under 42.5 points to be scored, a play rated B. Green Bay's defense has been lights out. They have surrendered just 230 and 246 total yards to the Lions and the Commanders, respectively. We're talking about 2 very good offenses. Micah Parsons and company will also benefit from 3 extra days of rest after playing last Thursday night, so they should be well rested. They will be facing a Browns offense that is not scaring anyone. They have put 16 and 17 points on the board so far this year. Joe Flacco is not a world beater, and outside of Jerry Jeudy, the wide receiver group is very weak. Even the offensive line has had some struggles, so they will be tested against a tough Packers pass rush. On the other hand, will the Packers light it up against Cleveland? Most people assume they will, but I'm not so sure. First, it will be Green Bay's first game on the road. The communication will be much more difficult in front of a loud crowd. Cleveland has a talented defense that gave up just 141 total yards to the Bengals and 242 versus Baltimore. For these reasons, I expect a much lower scoring affair than what most people anticipate. I'm taking the under in this contest. Next, I am backing the Colts full game moneyline. In other words, I am banking on the fact that they will win this game straight up. This pick receives a grade of A, which means it is viewed as premium. Did you know that Indianapolis has won 7 of its past 8 trips to Tennessee? That's impressive. Jonathan Taylor leads the league in rushing yards. Tyler Warren ranks first in terms of receiving yards among tight ends. Daniel Jones occupies the second spot in the passing yard category. In short, the offense is rolling in Indy. Tennessee's defense has squandered the 3rd highest yards per carry average at 5.5. Now they are about to face Jonathan Taylor, so I wish this group good luck when trying to slow him down on Sunday. The Titans have also dropped 8 games in a row dating back to last year. There is light at the end of the tunnel for the Titans after drafting Cam Ward, but they still need to learn how to win football games. Their offense has generated just 133 total yards in Denver and 252 against the Rams. For the first time in the Super Bowl era, a team has yet to punt the ball through its first 2 matches of the season. That is the accomplishment made by the Colts so far in the 2025 campaign. I came close from taking the spread, but I've decided to play it safer by opting for the money line. Let's roll with that. In a battle that will feature 2 backup quarterbacks, I am supporting the Bengals plus 3 points in Minnesota. Given the uncertainty surrounding this match, I have elected to grade it C. Don't assume that Cincinnati's offense will suck because Joe Burrow is out. Jake Browning played 9 games in 2023, completing 70% of his passes and tossing 12 TD passes versus 7 interceptions. He also added 3 rushing scores, while posting a 4-3 record in the process. Meanwhile, Carson Wentz has not played much in the NFL recently. Indeed, he has attempted just 43 passes over the last 2 seasons. Can he succeed in Kevin O'Connell's offense? Maybe, maybe not. One thing is for certain though. The Vikings will need to overcome a lot of injuries. Here are guys that could possibly miss the game. Running back Aaron Jones, left tackle Christian Darrisaw, his backup Justin Skule, center Ryan Kelly, linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel, and safety Harrison Smith. On top of that, we already know that QB JJ McCarthy is out, along with wide receiver Jordan Addison. Moreover, Jake Browning was dumped by the Vikings in 2021. That will add a little bit of extra motivation for him. I find it unlikely that Minnesota will win by a margin of 4 points or more, so I will go with Cincy +3. Pittsburgh versus New England. Mike Tomlin versus Mike Vrabel. Sounds like a good matchup. From a betting perspective, I will go with the Steelers to win outright at -115 odds or 1.87 in decimal. This play is a premium pick, so it gets an A grade. What the heck is happening to Pittsburgh's defense? They have looked very ordinary, both against the Jets and the Seahawks. To me, this will be a get-right game. I expect this unit to rebound big time with a solid performance. They may be without linebacker Alex Highsmith and safety Deshaun Elliott though, which concerns me a little bit. Meanwhile, New England's pass defense has been atrocious. They rank dead last in the NFL in terms of passing yards allowed, despite facing the Raiders and the Dolphins, who are not necessarily among the best. Aaron Rodgers will find a way to exploit that area. The Steelers are not very good running the ball anyway, so it's a good matchup for Pittsburgh. Drake May fared better in Week 2, but as I said earlier, it won't be easy against an ultra-motivated Pittsburgh defense. TJ Watt will be chasing May all afternoon. Give me Pittsburgh to get the W. Last year, the Eagles eliminated the Rams 28-22 in the divisional round. Los Angeles drove the ball all the way to Philadelphia's 13-yard line with around 1 minute to go, but they failed to score a potential game-winning touchdown. Sean McVay's team will be looking for some payback here. Saquon Barkley rushed for 205 yards in that game. They won't let that happen again. Philly's offense is not really clicking without Kellen Moore. They scored 24 points against Dallas and 20 in Kansas City. The Rams have a good and young defense that will cause them some headaches. The Eagles have some question marks in the secondary. That is very bad news when you are about to face one of the best wide receiver duo in the league, Puka Nacua and Davante Adams. Just like the Eagles, they can also beat you with the ground game, led by Karen Williams. Philadelphia may end up winning this game, but it won't be easy at all. There may be a 40% chance that they will win by a margin of 4 points or more, so I am certainly taking the Rams plus 3.5. I would not be surprised if they won outright. This play gets a grade of B. After suffering a humiliating 30-10 home loss against the Bills, the New York Jets will be traveling south to Tampa Bay. My selection goes to the Bucs laying 7 points. Tampa's run defense is very stingy. They have done a fantastic job this year, including shutting down Bijan Robinson in Week 1. It does not bode well for Breece Hall, and that could force the Jets to throw the ball. which is very bad news when your QB is either Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor. At the time that I'm recording this video, it sounds like Taylor will be under center since Fields was the victim of a concussion against Buffalo. Taylor played 11 games in 2023 with the Giants, and he threw just 5 TD passes in 11 games. New York's defense has been underwhelming so far in 2025. They also have 3 guys listed as questionable right now: defensive end Jermaine Johnson, safety Tony Adams, and cornerback Michael Carter. That is music to the ears of Baker Mayfield and company. I like how Tampa's offense is very diversified. They can attack you on the ground or through the air. Their running game was surprisingly good against a tough Texans defense. In total, they rushed 30 times for 169 yards. The Bucs will be playing their home opener, so the crowd will be even louder than usual. I think they will crush the Jets in this one, so once again I am betting Tampa minus 7 points. The Las Vegas Raiders will be traveling to Washington to take on the Commanders. I have several arguments supporting Washington in this game, but I could not pull the trigger. Instead, I am going with under 44.5 points. This play is rated C. The Raiders have scored an average of 14.5 points per game so far this season. Can we expect them to light up the scoreboard? I don't think so. They lose one day of preparation after playing last Monday, while Washington had 10 days to get ready for this meeting. This game starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, which corresponds to 10 a.m. body clock for Vegas. I expect their offense to be out of sync, much like they were against the Chargers last week. Meanwhile, will the Commanders score at will on Sunday? Again, the answer is no. First, the Raiders' defense is pretty solid and underrated right now. Secondly, Jaden Daniels is out, so Marcus Mariota gets the nod for the Commanders. He is an adequate backup who could lead his team to score 17 to 23 points this weekend. The team also lost running back Austin Eckler, a key veteran for this team. I cannot envision a high-scoring affair in this game, so I am going with the under here. Let's take a minute to reveal the winners of my 2 free contests. In the prediction contest, where you need to make a pick against the spread on each game, Etienne Fournier and Guillaume Diamond both racked up 96 points. They split the $100 cash prize evenly. Good job, guys! In third place was Taiwan Kim from New Zealand, who won access to my NFL and college football premium picks for a full week. In the other contest, where you needed to predict the exact score of the Falcons-Vikings game, nobody got it, unfortunately. A few people got close, but not quite right. Good news, I am growing this week's prize pool to $150. So make your picks below for the Chiefs-Giants game. Good luck, my savvy sports betting friends! I'm betting the Falcons minus 5 points in Carolina in week 3. This selection gets a B grade. I think this has all the makings of a blowout. Atlanta's defense has been super impressive. They lead the NFL in opponent EPA per play. They have some very good rookies contributing, especially when it comes to the pass rush, a skill the team has been lacking for years. They limited the Bucs to 260 total yards in week 1 before shutting down Minnesota in week 2, who only accumulated 198 total yards on offense. In week 1, QB Michael Penix carried the team on his shoulders by displaying a solid performance. In week 2, the ground game was dominant. In total, they carried the ball 39 times for 218 yards, a stunning 5.6 yards per carry average. The Falcons also remember vividly getting beat by the Panthers in week 18 in overtime at home. They won't take their division rivals lightly this time around. Panthers QB Bryce Young has looked bad in 7 out of 8 quarters this year. I won't let his good fourth quarter in Arizona change my mind about him. Unlike last year, he won't be able to buy time to escape Atlanta's pass rush, which has improved dramatically. To make matters worse, the Panthers will be without 2 starting offensive linemen, Austin Corbett and Robert Hunt. I am smelling a blowout, so I am backing the Falcons -5 points in Carolina. We have a good AFC South battle featuring the Texans and the Jaguars. This is pretty much a toss-up game with Jacksonville being a 1.5 point favorite. My bet goes to Houston +1.5 as a C-rated play. In his career against the Jags, CJ Stroud has tossed 7 TD passes versus 0 pick, while posting an awesome 110.1 passer rating. He loves facing Jacksonville. One more argument supporting this play is the big gap between these two defensive units. The Texans are light years ahead of Jacksonville in that department. They limited the Rams to 14 points and the Bucs to 20 points. Jacksonville's defense is likely in the bottom 5 of the NFL. The Jags' offense looks improved this year. In fact, they put 26 and 27 points on the board in weeks 1 and 2. But keep in mind, they did that against super bad defenses, the Panthers and the Bengals. They will face a much stiffer test this weekend. Are they really up to the challenge? My biggest source of concern, which explains why this play is rated C, is Travis Etienne. He has looked very strong in 2025 with a mind-boggling 7.1 yards per carry average. Last week, the Bucs ran wild against Houston, so hopefully they will tighten up this week. Christian Kirk is going to return to action on Sunday. He will be facing his former team, so that provides more arguments to back Houston. I will put my money on the Texans this weekend. Hey, my very top play of the week concerns the Broncos-Chargers game. If you are interested to gain exclusive access to this high-confidence betting pick, sign up at the link below in the comments. The first 2 NFL lobster bets this year have failed, which is very disappointing. We are still 7-4 since I began sharing my top NFL play each week, dating back to last year. You know what? We're going to post a 4-1 record across the next 5 weeks. I am making that statement right now, right here. Mark my words. Join our group of elite sports investors by receiving this play directly in your mailbox. And if the prediction loses, you get refunded. As simple as that. Just follow the link below, take action now before the betting line moves. Next, what is my favorite bet in the Saints-Seahawks contest? I am not going to fall for the Saints are not that bad narrative that the media is promoting after New Orleans was competitive in Week 1 and Week 2. They remain in a rebuilding mode and are possibly the worst NFL club right now. New Orleans' defense is 22nd in opponent EPA per play. On offense, Spencer Rattler has shown signs of improvement, but he is still losing. His career record is 0-8. That speaks volume. It will also be their first game on the road, so things won't be as easy. Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet are a solid running back duo. Granted, Sam Darnold provides uneven play, but he can take advantage of weaker defenses, especially with Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is a star. Seattle's defense has allowed exactly 17 points in both of their first 2 games, which is a good outcome. That occurred against the 49ers and the Steelers, 2 decent offenses. I think the Seahawks will destroy the Saints this Sunday, so I am betting Seattle -7 points. Alright, we have 3 more games to cover. Next, I am taking The Dallas Cowboys to win straight up at Soldier Field against the Bears. This play is rated B. Both teams are coming off a game in which their defense was extremely dreadful. They both gave up more than 500 total yards to their opponents. However, in terms of offense, it all comes down to the fact that I trust Dak Prescott a lot more than Caleb Williams. Prescott is healthier this year and he finally has a solid number 2 wideout opposite of CeeDee Lamb. He's shown a good connection with George Pickens already. Tight end Jake Ferguson has also already caught 14 balls, so here's another weapon that opposing defenses must stop. I've been pleasantly surprised by the Cowboys' running game. I did not think Javonte Williams would ever look good again, but he's been running with confidence this year. He has already scored 3 times while posting a great 4.6 yards per carry average. By doing so, Prescott does not have to carry the team on his shoulders anymore. Caleb Williams has good potential and he has a good supporting cast. He still has some ups and downs, whereas Prescott is more consistent with his play. Chicago's defense looked awful last week and things may get even uglier. Their star cornerback Jalen Johnson is possibly out for the year. It also remains to be seen if linebacker TJ Edwards and defensive back Kyler Gordon will be on the field on Sunday. Those injuries favor Dallas in a big way, so I will roll with the Cowboys as slight underdogs in Chicago. Both the Cardinals and the 49ers are 2-0 right now. Which team will go 3-0? In my opinion, it will be San Francisco. That's why I am betting their full game money line a play graded B. Kyle Shanahan will be happy to remind his players how they lost both meetings with Arizona last year. That will fuel extra motivation for the Niners. Sure, San Francisco will still be without Brock Purdy, George Kittle, and Brandon Ayuk. But the backups in Shanahan's offense often succeed. See Mac Jones last week, who completed 26 of 39 passes for 279 yards. He also got 3 TD passes versus 0 interception. Christian McCaffrey looks strong again. He is a threat both as a runner and a receiver. Ricky Pearsall and Jawan Jennings also do a very fine job for the team from the Bay Area. Congrats to the Cards for being 2-0, but they were not super impressive when they beat New Orleans and Carolina, 2 of the worst NFL clubs. In both cases, we're talking about a 1-score victory. Kyler Murray was okay, but nothing more. Here's the icing on the cake. 3 starting cornerbacks for the Cardinals are listed as questionable. If 2 out of 3 are out, that would be a massive blow for an already suspect defensive unit. There is no doubt in my mind that the best value lies in San Francisco's money line here. On Sunday night, we have an intriguing matchup between 2 squads who are 0-2 right now. The Chiefs will be playing at MetLife Stadium against the Giants. I don't have a strong opinion about this game, but if forced to bet, I would go with KC minus 6 points. Given my lower confidence level, you can guess that the pick gets a C grade. The biggest reason why I have opted for the Chiefs point spread is the fact that Patrick Mahomes is good following a loss. He will be even more motivated given the fact that they are 0-2 right now and they will be facing the Ravens in Week 4. If they lose to the Giants, they could very well be 0-4 through the first 4 weeks and their season would pretty much be over. The Chiefs absolutely need this game. KC's ground game has been anemic. Both Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco have accumulated exactly 47 rushing yards this season. That's awful. They could wake up against a weak New York defense that has allowed 432 and 478 total yards in each of their first 2 matches, respectively. Based on the latest reports, it is looking good for Xavier Worthy to be back on the field for the Chiefs. That would be a big boost for KC, and I would like this bet more if that's the case. Will left tackle Andrew Thomas play for the G-Men on Sunday night? It remains unclear at the moment. They need him badly following the dreadful performance by James Hudson III. Again, if he's out, I like this bet more. Russell Wilson looked like Superman last week, but in my mind, that was an anomaly. He's likely to look more like the QB we saw in Week 1. For these reasons, I will side with the Chiefs laying 6 points on the road against the Giants. Make your prediction for the exact score of the Chiefs-Giants game. You could win $100, and it's obviously free to participate, so post your pick in the comments below. And if you would like to get the very best NFL pick for Week 3, sign up for the Lobster Bet by following the link below. I'm Professor MJ. I've been destroying bookies since 1999, which allowed me to quit my full-time job as a university teacher in September 2022. Let's boost your bankroll together, my friend!